Okay, it's set post weekend, so I think I went over this drawing before, but just to remind you guys, I got the measurements and all the holes marked out there. The batter lines are up, set 1 inch away. We went through and measured off the string and set a centering position for each post, and then I called in the help to drill the holes for all 27 building posts and then the 7 porch posts. Everything's marked out there. The strings are pulled away so we can drill the holes. All right, so we'll get into that. There you go.
Bump it in just a little bit to you. Right there.
Alright, we're coming along pretty good, so I'll walk you through what we got going on. So we set the laser tracker up back there, or laser transit back there, and then I graded off the datum point against the fence over there. And all these holes we drilled those to 51 inches, 51. And then we put a bag of concrete in the bottom, so that took the holes up to 48 inches below grade. And then for the bottom of the post, just put a 1 foot long piece of rebar on the bottom of that for up force protection. I'm gonna put this 2x4 in the hole to keep, when you tilt the pole up, you don't scrape the dirt in the back of the hole. I got my father-in-law Larry and Nick and Jason Smith and Alec helping out. So we got all the holes drilled except this back row here. We ended up hitting a line that we gotta reroute. I don't really want to talk about that, it's aggravating, but we're gonna reroute that around the barn. So I got the right help here, so it's going pretty good. All right, we got about half the poles set right now, about half to go. Well, they're all in the holes, but you see I still got to level these. And then, like I talked about, I set the poles 1 inch from the string, and that ensures that, you know, when you go to line them up, that if you're touching the string, it could push it out, you know, a little bit, and then the rest of your row is gonna be off. So I really think the 1 inch off the string makes sure that you won't interrupt your straight line when you're putting the poles in. I got about 3 bags, 1 bag underneath the column and 3 bags on top, so it gets pretty close to the surface. This is the level of the concrete here, so after I get the skirt boards up, I'm gonna have to have some rock brought in and build it up to that level. So Went out here, look at the holes that haven't been covered up yet. So, as you can see, I put this piece of rebar through the bottom. You know, it sticks out on both sides, about the same. You can't really see that side, but you know, once you get your bags of concrete, so I haven't filled that one. I got some more concrete to put in there, but another bag. But you can see once the concrete's in there, it's covering that rebar, so that gives you your up force protection. You know, it should prevent the pole from working its way up. And then I got this whole row to do still. So whenever I mark the holes to be drilled, I've watched the guys do it where they just you know, they kind of, okay, it's supposed to be about right here, and they end up drilling like right below the string, but you really don't want to drill right below the string. You want to measure off the string to the center of your pole, and then, you know, mark your hole position. And as you can see, that this pole's set in the perfect position for the building, and it's almost right in the middle of the hole. So that makes it a lot easier when you're going to square your pole up if your hole is perfectly center. And I ended up drilling these 16 inches diameter. This is the only hole that kind of walked on this, and we didn't realize it. So it was really close, but still okay. And when we're leveling these out, we're just throwing these kicker boards on there, and then just screwing on a roll of 2x6s to hold the widths. So I'm gonna leave those outside kickers on. Those are all my window framing 2x4s. I'm just gonna leave those on until I get it completely, get all the girders up, and then I'll pull those down, and then I'll be ready to put the trusses up. But you can see I'm gonna have a walk-through door here and another walk-through door down there. So I just nailed two 2x6s together, about 1 foot all the way on both sides, and then I stubbed that in the ground too, and then that'll frame out my window or door opening. That's about the this side. That's the width of the door frame right there to the outside of this column. The outside of this column, that's the exact rough opening of the door. So all I gotta do is put a header on, pour the concrete, and then put the door in. So I got walk-through door here, and then the first 2 column to this column here, that's all gonna be like a I don't know, man cave, whatever you want to call it. Then there'll be a wall from this column all the way over to the second column over there, and then this will be the shop side. All right, so I got this door is 10 foot wide, and the columns are set exactly 10 foot wide, and then these 2 columns are set 12 foot wide, and then those last 2 are 12 foot wide. So I'm gonna have 3 doors, 12 by 10, 12 by 10, 10 by 9 foot tall. So 1 everyday use, and then 1 there for the boat. 36 feet deep. My boat trailer with the trailer is about 26, so I should have 10 feet to play with. Maybe if I ever buy a bigger boat, then I'm in trouble, I guess. But all right, so that's where we're at, and we got some more to do today. All right, guys, long weekend. We got the post set. Like you've seen, I'll walk around here and just show you the final outcome and see what you guys think. All right, so we got the 6x6s. They're for the porch. Setting those 7 feet out. So, you know, the key to all this is that the strings were perfect. I mean, to the 1/16 of an inch square, almost exact. So, you know, that was a good starting point. The hole placements, they were exactly center of the post off the string. That helped out a whole lot. So, you know, having a good starting point made the day go, or the whole weekend go, a lot smoother. Like I said, I have, you know, everything 1 inch off the string, so I know that none of the posts or anything interfered with the line. So when I got done, everything very, very, very close to being perfectly square. And I think that's the key to building anything is, you know, you start off with a good square frame. And I'm pretty sure that's what I got here. Like I said, all the holes turned out great. I had a lot of good help this weekend. My brother-in-law and father-in-law, and my dad, my uncle, a couple brother-in-laws actually. But I can't thank all my help enough. They did awesome. Made fun of me because a lot of my measurements are, you know, I was calling out a 1/16 of an inch tolerance, and we kept bumping it until it was right. So all these kicker arm supports, I'm probably going to leave those up this week and next weekend, hoping to get all the girders on and get to the trusses as soon as possible and get this thing under roof. And these two posts here, they were really, really close together. So the hole ended up being one hole, which is okay. We ended up using a lot more concrete bags on this hole. But as I started with, you know, this stake in the ground over here is grade level. The strings are about 1 inch above or 2 inches above, which don't really matter, but all the strings are level with each other. All the way around the building, all the strings are level within 1/4 inch. So that way you know that all your measurements are good. You know, if you're sloped downhill, then your measurements will run out on you. And we dug the holes first from grade to 51 inches, and then we put a bag of concrete in the bottom, which brought it up about 3 inches. Then put the post on top of the one bag, and then we throw 2 more bags in the bottom, and then we backfill the rest with dirt. Some of them probably got 3 or 4 bags on top, covering the pole. So I'm pretty confident these things aren't going anywhere. You know, as you can see, it's a 12-foot building. The side columns are 18 foot tall right now. You know, 4 foot in the ground and 14 foot above. So there'll be a little bit to cut off on the sides. And then the end columns, they go 20 foot and then 22 foot for the tallest. So the end truss, once I get to those, on the side of that skid steer, the one truss on each end will bolt, just nail right on to the end truss, and then all the rest of them will saddle down inside of the column. So when you buy these engineered columns from Menards, they got the insert board. You take that out, and then you measure from grade 12 feet high, and then wherever that ends up, you cut that center 2x6 off to get it to the right height, and then you put your truss down inside there, and then cut the outside 2 boards to not be above your purlin or your truss, depending on if you put your purlins on top of the truss or down in between. So all the posts are set and level. So next video we'll put the girders on, and then we'll go for the trusses after that. So talk to you guys soon.